Is this thing on?
I guess so.
He just loves to interrupt my silence, don't you, Jeffrey? my coded silence at the beginning of the show.
What I'm known for, bitch.
Always got to mess with it. Hey, everyone, and welcome to Uncensored Radio Live for... My God, it's nearly the middle of November, guys. What is going on with the year? The year is flying by, which is kind of a good thing. I'm down with it. But it's okay. Because we are all here together, living, loving, laughing, and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to start, of course, with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jeffrey Emmett. How are you today?
So I have like 2 dates to go on this weekend, right? And here's the thing. They're like back to back because I had to schedule, I got scheduling issues and shit. So I fit 2 out of the 4 in on Saturday. And so the one guy's talking to, he does weddings, right? So he sends me these pictures because I'm not really getting it. He's like doing 2 or 3 or 4 weddings a day. I'm like, every day? What? I don't understand what's going on here. He's like, yeah, we're booked constantly. So he sends me these pictures. No? Maybe?
Hi, Ace.
I'll find them. So this is the church that they're using. Is this not the craziest thing you've ever seen?
I think it's stunning.
That's beautiful.
I'm like,
Well, they have
gorgeous.
Like, that's why they're making a ton of money. So I was like, well, how much they get? He said between $5 and like $12.50 a pop. I'm like, first off, you're undercharging. I'm like, you do 5 weddings a day. I'm adding up the cash, and I'm like, I'm in the wrong business. So when I
weddings
start
and
building
funerals,
a church
baby,
next year, right? I'm gonna build me a church in the middle of the woods. I'm gonna rent it out, and then so I started going over, and I finally got you guys a picture of the blouse barn. Okay, I keep saying it's in the neighborhood. This is the blouse barn.
That's amazing.
Is that not great? You couldn't see the clothing racks. I have like pictures of the jewelry because I'm doing all of her stuff for her new website that's coming and things. And yeah, it's been quite the experience. And of course, my children are just being joys as they always are. So it's been a fun week.
Lovely. How are you, Bodacious Brookalata?
Oh, I'm amazing.
What's the fuck?
What the fuck? That's me. What the fuck? I missed one
fuck?
show and Jeffrey forgot me. But it's been a huge week. Huge week. My husband and I have just become dual paranormal team members. We've been invited to join another team in Sydney, so that's amazing. It's very, very fun. Weddings are back. So the events company that I'm part owner of, we have a big wedding that we're catering and bartending and everything at this weekend. So headed away for the weekend. It's a lot of fun, guys. It's a lot of fun. Busy.
So wait,
busy.
Are you not working with the girls anymore, or are you doing both?
Yeah, I'm doing both. Yeah. I'm doing both, Jeffrey. So I'm going to be. So we have a tour with Newcastle Ghost Tours tonight, and we will also be helping with tours in Sydney as well. So it's not a lot of people will be on 2 teams, but I'm very, very honoured and excited, and yeah.
She's bi-teamal. She's one of those.
I'm bi-teamal.
She's bi-teamal. You know.
I mean,
I'm actually going on an investigation with Anna Renata tomorrow night.
Yay!
How exciting!
I know, right? Hunting ghosts in olden times.
Oh,
Speaking of things that are old, I'm here.
Oh!
Wait for it.
You know I love ya.
You asshole.
Hi, Christopher. Bitch, he called you fucking old.
You're lucky that I believe it's nothing sacred if that's funny.
It's all love. You know that.
Hi.
It is.
Hi, Katie.
Oh, we've got people popping in left, right, and
I
center.
know, hi guys.
Oh, I thought it was the Katie that's not on the show tonight.
No.
You know, because she's the
No.
drama, the general
Christopher's.
hospital.
So, guys, let me tell you about Christopher. Christopher actually took the day off work the other day so he could watch the Joanne interview live.
Oh, I
I'm
love.
like, that is commitment. So thank you so much. I was like, oh, okay. Joanne was a
Listen,
wonderful
that's
human
shitty.
being. She's going to come back. She said she's
More committed
she's
than
ready
half
to
the
come.
people.
Yeah.
Ace,
Oh,
because
look,
he's
hold on.
smart. He's
I
smart.
didn't
He
see.
didn't call Jeff old, I know.
Bitch, because I'll be on a plane. I'll be like, bring it, bitch.
Oh, you're old. You're old.
But
You're
the thing
old.
is, the thing is,
All
Jeff,
right.
I'm older than him, Ace, so
You aren't
it's
even
okay.
going on a plane to get to
Are you?
Australia. You want to take a
Yeah, I
6-week
think so.
boat ride.
I'm
No,
February,
it's only 30 days. It's a 30-day
Yeah.
boat ride. It's like 4
only,
weeks.
because I've got all the
30
time in the
days.
world.
Who the fuck
I
wants
do.
to get on a
What
boat
else do I
in
I
COVID
teach
times
the kids.
in 30 days?
No.
Yeah.
It sounds like mutiny
love
on the
y'all.
bounty. Like you're all going to
Black
develop the
Lotus.
black lung.
I'll bring my-
Qantas.
I'll bring my personal homemade hand sanitizer from my 4276 line that I'm creating. It'll be all good.
And of
And then I'll
course, we
take
have
up my True 10 gummy.
Oh, here we go. I'm waiting for it.
You
Waiting
were
for it.
waiting for it, and he kept you waiting, and then he.
Of course, we have the lovely Heidi back with us today. How are you, Hides?
Guten Tag. How are we? How is everyone?
We're good. We have a bit of a delay monster again this week, but it's okay.
Did you finish your nuggets?
Everything's so laggy on my end. It's literally trying to hear Braille. That's the only way I can describe it. Hearing Braille.
Honey, you
Did
know
you
how to
finish
fix
your
the
nuggets?
lagginess.
Jeffrey wants to know.
I did. They were delicious. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for outing me as a nugget
See,
eater.
honey, you need to fix the lag, honey. Maybe you just need to pop this
Yeah,
in the
it's
CD
really
player
bad.
and
I'm
then do the
definitely-
mantra
'cause I was-
dreaming. Catch you right
Jeffrey.
up the next day.
Jeffrey, let it go, babe. Let it
Never.
He can't.
Never.
He
Never.
Can't.
He can't. He just likes
No,
to.
he can't.
It's like a dog with a bone.
Listen, look at this fabulous binder. Okay, you can durable view. You can pick it up at Walmart for $1.99.
Oh my god.
You think
Oh,
Walmart's gonna give you a kickback, Sweet Pea?
Fuck Walmart. I hate that place.
Oh dear.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they're coming after you. Don't fuck with Walmart. But funny you should mention flights because they're looking quite cheap.
Yes, they are.
They're looking quite cheap. And they're getting close. Like they're not officially open yet for that time of year. So there's a couple of
And
days
what
to
time
go.
of year
but
would that be?
Well, look, we're dropping hints. We'll talk about it later. We'll give it a couple of weeks. You know, give it a couple of weeks. But do you know what we cannot
Maybe
wait
6
for?
to 8.
Yeah, we cannot wait for because it's about to erupt. This week's
Hot load of hot topics.
all over your face.
Really didn't know
Oh,
where it
dear.
you
was.
gotta keep up with it. You gotta keep it up.
I can't get mine
Okay.
to do that without moving them.
That's one of Kat's secret little power tools.
should
Of
I
course,
cover this
Jeffrey
this
Emmett. Look at that lovely shirt. That gorgeous shirt. That
I
you
had
can
to get it done at Cuddy Tech Awning, but that's all right.
You can get it from our Redbubble store, which is at www.redbubble.com/people/UCR live/shop.
And if you send us a picture of you wearing the I fuck on the first date shirt, Steve will send you a dick pic.
Why will I do it?
God, you guys are.
Why do you think anyone is
slaying this
interested
shit
in
tonight.
seeing anything that's on my body? Because they haven't been for the last however
You're
many
right, it's
years.
fine.
So.
Luke's not here.
I'm
I'm pretty sure I've got one in my stash of Luke somewhere in one of the old Facebook messengers or something.
Oh,
We'll
God.
send Luke's.
Heidi
I'm
like-
sends her warmest regards, but her computer is now frozen.
Oh.
Oh.
So we may be
Best
Heidi.
wishes.
Best wishes.
Best wishes.
Warmest regards. So let's jump straight into it. This doesn't seem like much of a story, but I'm going to start with it anyway. Just as we got off the stream last week, they announced the casting for the Wicked movie, which is Ariana Grande. Oh, hey, here she is. She's back.
She's back. Yay!
Okay.
So yeah, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande have been announced as Elphaba and Glinda in the movie adaptation of Wicked, which is fine. I think Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are slightly, age different, but they're both supposed to be at school together. Interesting.
So it's going to be like a movie, and not like
a theatrical movie.
Live.
Yeah,
it's
not just going to be the musical.
No,
film.
It's actually a musical. Like
it's a musical movie, just like
now. The funniest thing that has happened
and all the
is the
Poor James Corden.
Thank you, Vera's going there. James Corden is rapidly, I think people are rapidly showing their dislike for James Corden, as there has been a bit of a what do they call them? Petition against James Corden going anywhere near the movie.
He's really fucking turned people against him in a relatively
you know what?
short
I thought
time.
he was great in the Into the Woods. I mean, yes, cats fucking sucked, and but that wasn't his fault. There was plenty of other people sucking alongside.
See,
him.
I don't like musicals. Like the only.
Did you see Cinderella?
Oh yes, bitch! Because of you, and it was like the worst. I didn't even finish it because I couldn't do it.
Cinderella. With,
oh my god! What?
Come here, like a bell.
Trash. That
I
bitch
haven't seen that. It looks kind of stupid.
She can't.
From
Vera,
all around.
It gets worse and worse. Her singing in that movie is just, oh my god, everything's so auto-tuned. And even the chick from Frozen, she was doing Material Girl, and it was just trash. I'm like, what is this garbage?
It was trash. It really was.
Oh,
but that's not James Corden's fault.
No, was he even in Cinderella?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was one of the mice.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not James Corden's fault. He was great as the baker.
I think it's because he's an asshole in real life that people are not liking him. Like all these reports coming out of he's just kind of a pompous douchebag.
He's the male Ellen, and that's been known for a while. Like Ellen, it's been known for a while, but now people are actually catching on that the brand that he's peddling doesn't match the actual product on the can.
Here's the thing: can anybody really honestly peddle a brand that's true? Because everybody holds back in public, right? Like who you are on TV.
Not at all. Not at all.
You want to talk about brands that are taking a hit? Chris Pratt, ladies and gentlemen.
What a
now did we read this tweet, etc.?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So he's copping a lot of flack for a tweet about his new wife, and who happens to be, one of the Kennedy offshoot. Yeah, I know, right? Ugh.
She is.
Yeah. A Kennedy offshoot.
Yeah, she's a Kennedy. She's not one of the good ones. She's one of the, cousin of a cousin. No, there isn't.
Kennedy.
That's the whole point.
Kennedy
So the major drama with this article is that he has said that she has given him a healthy daughter. Now, for those of us that don't know a lot about Chris Pratt's past, he was married to Anna Faris from Scary Movie and Mom and the House Bunny fame. They actually had a young son together who was quite ill when he was young and, developed a lot of complications, etc., etc., etc. And he's received a lot of blowback about it, and he was really bummed and depressed. He went running in the woods and listened to Christian music to feel better.
Okay. Of course, she's a whack job. What Hollywood star that blew up, right? He went from the pudgy sidekick to the main man, and in a short amount of time, right? And what dude, look back on history, all of the guys, even women that get that kind of, lose some weight, they all go fucking nuts. They all turn to either some kind of religion, Scientology, listen to Christian rock, whatever. But I think this was unfair. So he was letting people know his daughter was born healthy and he's an asshole and throwing digs at his other kid. Like, come on, people. Stop fucking reaching. Get a job.
I just don't... Look.
Maybe you should listen to Mantra Dreaming. You guys would feel better.
I think the main issue is that, and you do see it a lot with people that get into second relationships. They kind of seem to shit on their former life a little bit. Yeah. And that's not really that's not fair to his ex-wife, no matter what their relationship is. But this kid's gonna...
Is that really what he was doing? I
mean, it kind of is. Isn't
that what every parent says when they
have a kid? Yes, like,
usually want it to be healthy.
We had a healthy baby boy. We had a healthy baby. It is a very common thing.
Oh, I'm gonna go Andy Cohen on you. It rings differently when your first child has been given such a rough start.
That's on you. That's not on him.
I know, but why mention it in the first place?
Differently, yeah. Oh, we have a beautiful daughter. All right, don't.
My first daughter.
Yeah, my first daughter, daddy's little girl. Use any other fucking thing, but don't sit there and go, "Oh, she gave me a healthy child." Do you know what? Yeah. It's not okay. I've had in my experience. So I had, my first child. It was a complicated story. But, no one congratulated me because my father passed away at the same time. All right. My second child was born and put straight into a NICU because he was 10 weeks early. Okay. He was still happy. He was still, and all I said was, I'm proud to have a second son. You don't need to pull on the fact that this woman had a child who was not perfect and healthy. It's shit. It is absolutely shit, and he can eat a fucking dick.
Yeah, but it's like a contradiction as well because he contributed half the genetics to this child, right?
Exactly.
So I don't know why the shift of blame has just been pushed on her without the realization of it takes two to tango and two to genetically build up a child. So half of that is him.
But is that really what he did? I mean, a lot of times, and I don't think any
it's all in the wording.
I don't think any parent deserves the blame for a child being born with special needs or health problems. Yes, both parents contribute half the gene pool, but there is a little crapshoot in there too.
And there is also the fact that he's a grown adult who should know in the media, who should know that everything he says has power. He has this brand. He has this brand that he is America's golden boy. He's like the next gen Tom Cruise, but just the Christian version because God knows we need it. Yay!
If you want to get into the nitty gritty of it as well, now that he's found Jesus, where was Jesus in the creation initially?
Sticky situation. I just feel like it's not I'm sure he didn't intend. It wasn't a vicious intention, but you've got to you can't be that naive that you don't think that someone's going to pick that out.
Naive.
Why wouldn't one of his advisors go take that down?
Who would think that just saying I had a healthy daughter would fucking cause such a shitstorm? Like, it's insanity. People need to get a fucking grip. There's more important things going on in the world.
There is more important things going on in the world. Like karma. Poor little Jenna Ryan, who stormed the Capitol during the insurrection, is going to jail, y'all. Now, I know we're all real sad about it, aren't we? Because let me just find her comments. Talk amongst yourselves for a bit.
Yeah, tissue time.
It is tissue time. She posted it all over social media. I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to get away with it. It's fine. I won't go to jail. Oh my God, how far down the bloody page is this? Any second now. Are you
finding the comment that I think you're finding?
I'm trying to yeah, here we go. There we go. 60. So she's only what? She described the insurrection as the best day of her life and maybe behind a 60-day jail sentence. her famous she's a stockbroker, estate broker, and her like statement was, "I'm definitely not going to jail. Sorry, I have blonde hair and white skin and a great job and a great future. I'm not going to jail. I did nothing wrong."
Racist.
Not to mention, she's only going to jail for 60 days, kids. She was part of a treasonous insurrection, and she's going to jail
she's
for
gonna
60 fucking
be
days.
in jail
People
for 9
get
hours.
60 days for writing bad checks.
I hope that Large Marge likes the cut of her jib and makes her a flag.
Large Marge in charge.
Institutional racism at its finest. Yes, she has to go to jail, but she only got 60 days. Why? Because she's right. She's white, she's blonde, and she's rich. It's fucking bullshit. She should be in jail for 60 fucking years.
And there's people like in our comments, like someone's like, "Oh, imagine being still so obsessed with what happened so many months ago." I'm like,
"Oh, that was Derek. Hi, Derek.
Hello, your country turned into the Purge."
Oh, how cool would that be? I'm like, that was such a good movie.
Did I miss something? Like, we had Christmas and we were on break and everything was good and everyone's like living their life, and then the page starts blowing up. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, never mind. We've just entered the Purge season 3 where they take the Capitol with like a dude in a fucking wolf skin, and we're not supposed to be over that.
Here's the thing. If Republicans get voted in, right, and let's say we have another Donald Trump, and Democrats try to do some crazy shit, I think this is going to set a precedent, because now anytime there's an uprising against our government, everybody's going to go to fucking jail. So,
and they shouldn't.
It's kind of a problem.
No, they fucking should. If you want to overturn the results,
I mean, no,
of
these
duly certified election, you are fucking committing treason. We are a democracy. Every vote counts, not just the votes that voted for Donald Trump. They should go to jail. If the Democrats did the same thing to Trump, they should go to jail too. It's not a black and white thing. It's a legal thing.
So you can't.
It was a duly certified election. Every state, the Republican states certified it just as much as the white states. They sent their electors, as is laid out in each state constitution. It was a legal election. The people who aren't getting over it aren't the Democrats. It's the fucking MAGA maggots. They're committing treason.
Exactly. So we should probably fill the jail with the people that are meant to be there, not the people on like petty weed crimes that are in there for 20 years because of the color of their skin.
Heidi's frozen, and it looks like she's picking her nose. Just saying.
She looks very.
Excuse me. I want to hashtag that. What was that? MAGA.
Maggots.
MAGA.
Maggots. Hashtag.
Please remind me never ever to piss off Vera.
Listen, sometimes I just know a little button to press is gonna push her overboard.
And I'm telling you. So normally when I know someone that goes on a little rant like that, I will actually walk up and I will lick them up the side of the face. The overwhelming urge to lick you on the face, Vera. Because I just thought it'll break the tension, you know.
Hey,
anyway,
but she's not wrong, people. She's not wrong.
I'm not really tense. You know,
no, I know you're not.
I still won't hate Steve for calling me old.
You were talking about
Vera.
We're talking about a real maggot, like a total maggot.
Oh,
check out. Okay, so for those of us that don't know who this, I was going to say gentleman, but it might be reaching to call him a gentleman. His name, and I'm sorry if I murder this, is Fayaz Siddiqui. Yeah. Siddiqui? It's got a Q in it. Anyway,
it is
got
a Q in it, but it's Siddiqui.
Yeah. Okay, you're smart, Amira. I'm gonna count down.
I worked with a Dr. Siddiqui.
Okay, so this guy is an unemployed 41-year-old, and he's recently lost a court battle to have his parents pay him maintenance for life.
Oh, this is another case of that shit.
Yes, but this dude is actually an Oxford-educated lawyer.
No, he is not.
Yes, he is. Who, for the last 20 years, has been living in his £1 million flat owned by his parents, who also provide cash for bills and expenses near Hyde Park in London, and has no rental obligations.
Does he not work?
No, he's been unemployed for nearly 10. How long did it say? 10 years? Yeah.
See,
Since 2011. Yep.
yeah,
Well,
on this,
boo-hoo on him.
I
See,
think
he's
that
a
it's-
lawyer. If he was, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I was going to say, I think it's mostly his parents' fault. I don't think he should be claiming support from them. But you know what? Even to get I'll use my children as an example again. So Jaden loves this game. I don't know, Roblox. You guys have that in America, right? Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he loves the Robux, and to get the Robux, he's got to put the dishes away every day for 2 weeks. He's got to do all of these chores to get it. And this is like $5. I make him work for it. There ain't no way that little shit would sit in $1 million like flat here in Newcastle or whatever. He would have to work for it.
So
I
his
think
argument is that his parents have made him dependent on them, and that they should keep him in the lifestyle that he is accustomed to.
Well, if
And
he
I
was
think-
getting a divorce, they would have to.
And that's what he said. That's what he said. It's unfair that people who children whose parents stay together are not offered the same rights as divorced children's parents. You haven't been a child for a good 30-something years.
Ew.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, like, sometimes I feel like I'm like a
it's-
really lazy individual.
At
I'm not
some point, you got
relying
to
on
put the
people.
pacifier out of your mouth and put on the big
Yeah,
boy
like-
pants.
Cut the cord, right?
I was
Cut
about
the
to
cord.
say, cut the cord and get over it, mate. Get a job. Just be a grown up, please.
Yeah.
Well, I don't-
Heidi,
look,
do your
there's
parents pay your bills?
No, ma'am. But like self-sufficient, like entrepreneurial maid, I was, and like I was gifted the best childhood, in my opinion. My parents never said no to anything. We had a very trusting, loyal relationship. Even throughout the shitty teenage years, I never lied about where I was. I was always, very much spoon-fed throughout my childhood. But I developed into one of the hardest working people I know, and they're so proud of me, and I would literally do everything for them. But I'm now 28, and I still live at home. Understandably, like, that's kind of spoon-fed, but the only reason is because I'm getting a business up and running. So I don't
And the
know.
Australian
I think
property
it's-
market at the moment.
The
Oi.
Australian property market can suck my dick, but yeah, just
I
very,
think it's global. I think it's the global
Yeah,
property
it's pretty
market.
bad.
Dear, don't even. I watch those fucking reality shows. I watch House Hunters, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go higher than like $200,000. Oh, here, have this 8-bedroom, 6-bathroom, 4-car garage with a pool and da da da." Do you know that?
But
What
I
that
really
would
don't like
get
the
here?
kitchen.
Do you know what that would get here?
I
That
would
would
have
get
a
a 1-bedroom apartment for like
Yeah.
2 days.
Not even, babe, like a half a granny flat. Like,
Yeah.
it's
That's a parking space in Sydney.
yeah, it's a joke. It's honestly a joke, especially where I
Ridiculous.
live. So
Stop. Yeah, Heidi, stop being smash ammo and save for your deposit. Well
I
done.
don't like it. The texture of it.
Oh, she doesn't like it. She prefers a hash brown or a nugget, if you want to know. If you want to know. Well,
Right,
since we're talking about parenting, and that's the
Oh.
theme of this week's show, there has been a little TV show that has been sprung to life here in Australia called Parental Guidance. Now, it stars all of these families, and they all have different parenting styles. Jeffrey, you would probably really appreciate the gay couple. They have 2 sets of twin 9-year-old boys.
Fuck that.
Right? As soon as I was like, murder myself now. It's ruffling some feathers here because the biggest thing so far was using smacking as a divisive correction or whatever discipline. It's very interesting to see how quickly they turn on each other. I watched this whole episode. The parents that smacked their children are religious people with very long necks. Very long necks. I don't know what that is, but they both have very long necks. That their husband and the wife.
They're giraffes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit scary. The neck to head ratio is a bit out.
The higher the neck, the closer to God.
Right, obviously. So they smacked with a wooden spoon, and people were going off their face. The other couple's like, oh, "That's child abuse," and da 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 da. Get to the end of the episode. Wait, they're like feel so bad that they're crying about it. They're like, "Well, we're doing what we know how to do, and we're willing to learn." Then the host goes, "How many have actually hit your children?" Every other set of parents put their hand up in the room.
Every single one.
Of course.
Every single one.
But
so should we really be judged? My question is, should we really be judging anyone else's parenting style when you don't know shit about their children?
Well,
No.
I'm pretty
Jeff, go.
I'm pretty sure in America that hitting your child with any object at this point is considered child abuse. Like, if you are going to punish your child with corporal punishment, you have to use an open hand only, and not leave a mark.
Legit.
I didn't know it was codified.
Brooke, you're a parent. You go for it, baby.
I actually don't smack my children. I don't. I try to avoid it at all costs. But I do, however, I'm a very unique style of parent who I believe that if I'm going to have to pay for my children's therapy, I'm sure as hell going to cause it. And they are my monkeys in my circus, and they will do as they're told. I can silence my children with a look, and they know that this is a mumocracy, not a democracy. So until they pay for things, they do not get a vote.
See, fuck you, because I give Tyler the look, and this bitch just, and he just starts screaming.
No.
Like, so I
don't feel.
Well, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go here.
No, go.
I don't feel like we should be judging other people's parenting skills, but these people signed up for this. They are willing participants.
Yeah.
They are putting themselves on display. So, yes, they have put themselves in a position to be judged.
I'm sure it was produced.
Of course it was.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Can I ask how many of us were smacked as a child, and how did it affect your growing up? Like, how did it affect you?
Oh, okay. So
can I go first?
Genuinely intrigued.
I'm going to go first. I was smacked once.
Wow.
And that's all I needed, baby. And it wasn't hard. It was a smack on the butt because I was standing at the door, like screaming as mum went to work, and my dad came and went, boom, shocked me out of it.
Yeah.
First and last time ever. Yeah. Jeffrey?
It was a single spanking.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember getting hit a lot as a child. Like, I remember my father like snapping the belt, but I don't know that I ever even got hit with it. But when I've told this story, when I was about 10, my mother and I were like fighting in my bedroom, and she slapped me across the face. And she'd never done anything like that. And she, so I immediately slapped her back in the face. And then we went full dynasty, and this bitch grabbed me by my fucking hair and was yanking me. So as a 10-year-old, I reached up and grabbed her by her hair, and the two of us are like going down to the ground, shaking each other's heads. And then I proceeded there was like an egg crate on my futon. I had all these knickknacks and bullshit, and I like picked it up and flung it, and we both got like whacked in the face with ceramic tchotchkes.
So, Jeffrey, what you're saying to us is that you really should have watched less soap operas as a child.
Well, and this is, what's so crazy? It's so, like, we were just kind of talking about it on last Friday. The neighbors were over. We were having some cocktails and dancing with the kids and things. And, I was telling a story about how I saw my neighbor run her husband over, who her sister ended up marrying my uncle as a kid, like out in front of the house, right? Like they were fighting, he's chasing her down the street, and you got to go to the dead end and turn around. And all of a sudden, he's standing in the middle of the road. She guns it. He fucking flies over the hood, goes rolling off the back of it, and she takes off, right? And he gets up, and he's like a real tall dude, all legs, real skinny dude. So he's limping, but bitch, he was chasing her. He did too. He chased her all the way down the street till we couldn't see him no more. Kept chasing that car. I was so excited. I thought it was the greatest day of all time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if the police came, I would get excited. I'm like, something's going down in the hood. Like, let me get on.
And they say the mean streets are only in New York City, huh?
I'm saying,
Jeff did live on these mean streets.
No, but when I was little, it was a nice Italian neighborhood. And then it kept getting a little crazy. I mean, the neighbors were always fighting. It was always some kind of good shit. But I don't feel like that affects me all that much. I mean, yeah, sure, now I like to get slapped in the face in the bedroom. But if you hit me, like if somebody were to slap me in the face now, like I do have a very unnatural.
Are you saying they're going to have to hit you harder than that, Jeff?
I get a little, like if somebody, like, you know what I mean? If we were fighting and you slap me in the face, like it's going to be a brawl. Like it's going to be an issue. But it wasn't a beating. I think there's a difference between a spanking and a beating. My friends, they got beat with switches and belts and got the shit beat out of them. That was not punishment. That's beating.
My sainted father, he was one of 4 boys. He grew up on a farm. They got hit with switches. He had no idea how to deal with his 3 girls. And he would come at you like a freight train. I'm so mad. Oh, my God. And he'd pull that hand back and he'd stop himself and he'd just kind of like tap you. It was never really a hit.
What about you, Brookie?
So I had a little bit of a different childhood to what it sounds like everyone else did. My parents suffered trauma very early in their marriage, and they drank. So I was beat. There were police at my house. There was, I was. As a result, I don't smack my kids. I choose to discipline in other ways. I don't often drink. It's the way that you grow up. I think it depends. So, there are 2 ways. Children of alcoholics either grow up to be alcoholics or they grow up to avoid alcohol. And I feel like I kind of avoid alcohol genuinely. But I don't see that it did good things to be hit, if that makes sense.
Look, like what Christopher says, most 100%. Trauma is carried into adulthood from our childhood. These patterns continue through generations to come. We teach algebra in school, but we don't teach parental skills to avoid causing this trauma in the first place. The cycle continues until you're willing to do differently.
Well, I wanted to be a different parent. If that's for me, Christopher, thank you. But I wanted to be a different parent to the parents that I grew up with, because I know that they did their best. They really genuinely did. And, not to get too emotional or anything about it, but they did suffer trauma and it was not good for them. And the way that they dealt with it was to drink. And
we're going to talk about it a little bit more later as well. So don't play all your cards. So Hines, before we change topics, you were in a very unique situation of being a step parent for a hot while there. So what role did you play in the disciplinary area there?
So for me personally, I was never out to be anyone's mother. As much of a stepmother role I took on, he has a mother, he had a father. It was not necessarily my role unless he was in danger to discipline him. And that is the only time I would, unless he was in danger or going to cause danger to someone else. I was uncomfortable with offering discipline, given he was not my child. It's very different. As a teacher myself, my discipline in the classroom is very different to what a parent would discipline their child, both in dangerous situations. You know what I mean? So for me personally, I wasn't too much of a disciplinary figure in his life, although he was dealing with my partner at the time, who was and I'm not shy about saying openly abusive with him. So I 9 times out of 10 had to step in, unfortunately, to ensure that that didn't need to go further than the intention behind it. So, no, I think there's a big difference between a love tap and a bashing. So,
Yeah.
And look, having present parents, no matter if they're biological or, chosen or, step parents or whatever, makes a big difference in people's lives. There's a huge story in the media this week that has me questioning, where are the damn parents? If anyone has heard about you can't really avoid it, Astroworld, which was Travis Scott's music festival, 8 lives lost it at this music festival. The youngest of that being 14 years old to 27.
I might have hit 9 today. I believe.
Yeah, I think there's been someone else that's passed away.
Yeah.
I believe the youngest injured person was a 9-year-old. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We are all old enough to have been. No, this was the 9-year-old that was on his dad's shoulders and got thrown into the crowd, and whatever happens after that, you can use your imagination, because we've all been in I'm assuming we've all been to these bigger festival concert kind of things. Why on earth is anyone below the age of 18 or 21 allowed to go in there by themselves is beyond me. Like, that has to be breaching some kind of safety guidelines and da-da-da-da-da. I have more to say on that, but continue.
I think, like, on top of that as well, not only, like, where the fuck are the parents in that situation, but on top of that, the safety guidelines, like, period, point blank. People were allowed in there without tickets. It was a literal free-for-all, like, no crowd control whatsoever.
Well, from the start of it.
Kylie Jenner was escorted out of there, like, safely before anything blew up. It was almost like a preempted concept of, like, all hell's gonna break loose.
There has been there's been some documents leaked apparently that from before this is before the actual concert, that they were expecting fatalities, and they were not to refer to any fatalities as deaths or deceased persons. They were to refer to them as Smurfs.
Yeah.
Can we just flip this whole conversation on its head for a minute? Because sure, you can blame the promoters, the dude, whoever he was, but let's talk about all of these people in the crowd. Their individual actions are the reason this happened. It's not the promoter. It's not the fucking singer, rapper, whatever he was.
No,
it's all of the people doing this shit. That's why it happened. It's because they have no self-fucking control.
Probably hundreds of concerts. I have been to outdoor festivals. I've been to little concerts. I've been to big concerts. I've been to concerts where people are on their parents' shoulders. I've been to concerts. I was caught in a mob once. It's a failure to control. It is the promoter's fault. You can make a crowd behave, but you have to set guidelines and they have to be followed.
And we've seen what happens when crowds panic. When a crowd of people,
they shouldn't have to. You should be able to control yourself at fucking 18.
But it's not about Of course you can control yourself. You can't control the 15,000 people behind you if they want to rush forward.
That's on them. They're acting like animals. Like they fucking deserve to go to jail.
But it's not gonna bring back the people that were trampled on. You know what I mean? Like, that every action has a reaction.
So, go, Vera.
I was at a football game once. The hometown team was losing, and everybody was the last game of the season. Everybody was kind of heading to their cars in the end of the second half. They're like, well, there's always next season. In the last 3 minutes, the home team rallied and they scored 10 points in 30 seconds. And all those people who were on their way to the parking lot came screaming in, I got to see my team win. I was caught up against a cement abutment and the crowd kept pushing. And I swear to God, I thought I was going to be dead. I don't know how I got out of that. but I did. But I don't blame the Buffalo Bills. I really don't blame the fans who wanted to see the team win. It was a matter of crowd control because
they have a duty of care for people that are on their property.
Yeah, it was late in the second half and nobody was minding the gate, so
And
everybody
you gotta look.
So wait a minute. So what you two are saying is we can have people go bust into the Capitol and break fucking stupid shit. They gotta go to jail. But people that fucking stampede a 9-year-old, they don't have any fucking personal responsibility for their own fucking actions, and we're gonna blame the promoter.
Different situation.
I find it very hard to believe that anybody who was trying to get closer to the stage was saying, "Hey, let's stampede a 9-year-old." Whereas I believe that the people in the Capitol are like screaming.
Is that how we behave? Do we fucking bum rush a stage? No, we don't, people. It's fucking 2021.
Yeah, but do we also
control yourselves?
Do we also go into schools and movie theaters and shopping malls and shoot people up that we don't know?
So
yes, we do.
Is that the movie theater's fault, or is it the person that fucking went in with a gun? It's the
but
people
it's
that did
intention,
it. So
Jeffrey. It's intention.
You did.
And
it's regardless.
Those movies,
did it, right? All those people that were at the insurrection that just got caught up in the crowd, I'm sure they fucking had to go through hell to get out of shit.
Those you better believe those movie theaters were probably sued.
There's a lot of photographic evidence that many, many people were actively storming that.
Look at Jeffrey. He loves today.
And I'm not saying that they weren't wrong, but I'm saying if they're wrong, so are the people that were in this crowd, and they need to get the video footage and they need to press charges.
But you know what?
Fucking person that went through that crowd towards the stage.
I would have
accountability.
This is the reason why, and it's not just because I'm an old lady now. This is the reason why I don't stand up at concerts anymore, because you have one or two of these experiences and you go, because I'm not a tall dude, right? I might be a fat dude, but I'm not a tall dude. So I can get toppled over. It has happened to me once before. I have been on the ground with people stepping on me, and it is terrifying. And that's one of the reasons why now I'm like, no, we sit down at concerts. We sit down at concerts these days. Fat, lazy people.
Hi, Leslie.
Right, and here's the thing. There's video footage of the VIP and people that didn't even have tickets bum rushing the fucking through the little, the twirly things, the gates to get in.
Twirly
so
things.
every fucking single person in that video needs to be charged with manslaughter.
Twirly things work.
Can I please
I think if you could identify them, yes. If you could identify them, jumping barriers and find them, just like the
definitely. If they're breaking the law,
they should be charged. Yeah,
people need to be held accountable. And how can you say?
I also feel that the management of the venue has some accountability as well.
Okay. Whoa! I want to say something. Stop.
Go, Brookie.
I think Jeffrey's whole rant was just so he could say bum rush twice. But let's move on.
Do you know what?
You said bum rush twice.
This is something that's going to have legal ramifications for years and years and years to come. So it should. I think that both Travis Scott and whatever Jenna that one is need like lessons in how to act like a human being, because their social media response was disgusting. Yeah. But anyway, did you guys hear about the run?
What was it?
Did you guys have very ambivalent, not an apology, like photos of the crowd, like that they didn't take down as soon as they videos of the crowd and all that kind of stuff when they knew that people were had died in that crowd, take the shit down.
Also, made a video of him attempting to cry.
Yeah,
we saw. But with no apology, mind you.
No apologies, because we can't admit legal fault.
We've got to. Everybody's
literally worse than YouTube influencers attempting to apologize for something. Those videos that are it was worse. He wasn't even shedding a tear; he was pretending to. So.
Yeah,
I agree with Leslie on this. I agree with Leslie. It should be for everyone.
What did I say?
We're going to move on, because I just want to make a funny joke.
Are we?
Yeah.
Bum rush?
I'm bum rushing the topic.
Don't you laugh, what's her fuck?
Do you know? Have you guys heard what's happened on the set of Rust now?
Oh
God.
So the set's getting pulled down. One of the crew members is being bitten by a spider and might lose their arm.
Oh man.
That movie is cursed. Cursed. Cursed.
I
Like-
actually have a spider bite on my arm. I keep twitching.
I got
I'm
a
like-
spider bite at Heidi's place and lost 25 kilos. Good times.
Dude, it's the best
I'm like-
weight loss I've ever seen.
Oh.
Where do I sign up for
Why
that?
did you say that, spider
Jeffrey,
bite?
the amount of liquid that came out of my body for a good couple of months at unreliable times
Listen,
was not
what you
cheap.
don't know is that's like a normal day for me, okay? I've got the fucking crazy ass intestines.
All right, can we talk about? We're going to talk about bad liquids.
Oh God.
MGM are making a Jim Jones movie with Leonardo DiCaprio starring as Jim Jones.
To make that joke.
Bad. Okay, so
Bad
Heidi,
liquid.
Jim Jones was a religious cult leader in the late 70s era.
Yeah.
Late 70s, who had the People's Temple, and it was like it started out as like a Christian offshoot kind of thing and ended up being him on a lot of drugs, telling people what to do. They moved to it was Africa, wasn't it? South America. And basically when the US representatives came to check on reports of abuse and human rights violations, he had his people kill 5 US representatives at the airport, and then there was a mass suicide of over 900 people, women, children, animals, all that kind of stuff.
And this is where the expression "they're drinking the Kool-Aid" comes from.
Well, and is that
Except
his
it wasn't
fault
Kool-Aid.
or their fault.
See, this is the thing. If you do a deep dive into Jonestown, it was
Flavor Aid.
It's actually very terrifying and sad because it is one of those crowd situations where you don't have autonomy over your actions. They forced it down. They did force it down people's throats.
It was a mass cult.
And shoot them if they didn't take the Kool-Aid, the Flavor Aid. I know we don't advertise other companies, but last podcast on the left did, I think, a 3-part series on Jonestown, which is brilliant. They're a comedy podcast, but the stuff that they did in that deep dive was brilliant. It's heartbreaking. So is it too soon to do a movie about a mass suicide?
Yes.
I think they're probably doing it more because we see the rise of cultism in this country and around the world. This conservatism that's taking over the globe. It's certainly, can't speak for the Aussies, but I know it's all over Great Britain and Canada.
Well, we've got a lot of drama. We've got a lot of drama here in Australia at the moment because they've made a movie which we talked about on here about Martin Bryant, who was the gunman at Port Arthur. Do you think this controversy is just Oscar bait as well?
It could be.
For Leo?
But you know what? As the only person on this panel that was alive at the time of Jonestown, albeit I was young, it's been a while.
I mean, they made
It's
movies
not too soon.
about 9/11.
Yeah, bad
Yeah.
movies too.
And people on the plane, I mean, I think it's human nature to be curious about those final moments, the crazy cults and what happens. And,
Yes.
and I think
Just
there
a matter
it's
of taste,
one,
really.
it can be almost a learning moment of like what not to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
Speaking
can
of-
say what you want about Leo, hypocrite, not a hypocrite. I don't care. He's a fine actor.
And you know what? He is a child star who made it good, and we love to see it. Just like this gentleman. Look at Macaulay Culkin serving on the runway for Gucci, was it? I think it was Gucci.
Yeah, I think
Looks like a Gucci belt.
Gucci.
Look, how's that turnaround from like the biggest,
he was
the
looking real
biggest
rough.
child star, like the biggest of our generation? And I think because we don't really do child stars anymore, do we? I feel like he was the last big, but he was the last big one, like multiple
Lindsay Lohan.
movies. Yeah, but like I'm talking like little child.
She was
Because
No,
he was.
there's a few. Haley, what's her name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he doesn't really.
Montana,
Yeah, but I'm
Hannah
talking.
Montana.
He got like
Hillary
he went
Duff.
from
Hillary
like
Duff.
500,000. He went
Well,
from
we're
like
getting
$200,000 for Home Alone 1 to like millions of dollars for Home Alone 2.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, but look at what I'm saying is ones that can successfully keep a career going and
But
transition.
he didn't
But this is what I'm
go
saying.
for a very long time, and he looked like a fucking used wet rag.
But he's had this comeback, and he was brilliant in the episodes that I saw of American Horror Story with him. You know,
Yeah.
bloody brilliant. I think
I'm
we
not
forget
watching
that
American Horror Story, but
he was
good on him.
he was a great child actor, and he's a great adult actor. He was in. I don't know if you guys did. You guys see Party Monster when he was?
Yes.
When he played like the club kid killer, he was great.
Weird low budget movie.
Weird movie, but it was a weird situation. But we love Macaulay Culkin. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to change the flavor of today. We also love Grace and Frankie. That's over. Oh my god.
9 to 5.
But Dolly Parton's coming to Grace and Frankie, y'all, before it ends. I love that show, and I don't think like it has done so much for the visibility of older actresses and proving that once you pass 30, you are of no value. This is season 7, I believe, of that show.
I think my favorite part
some smart ass Aussie's gonna call you old.
of that show is when the 2 stars found out the men were being paid more than they were. How'd that work out?
Yeah, that's probably why the show has been shortened, but that's a Netflix thing as well. That's what Netflix does.
No, that happened very early on in the show. The girls like came out and was like, no, wait, we're the stars. Why are they getting more than us? No.
Right.
Yeah, they got the money.
They did.
They got that
Good
money.
for them.
So more power to them.
And God knows I love the dudes, but they are the A-listers.
The show is about Grace and Frankie. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not about it's an ensemble cast, and I'll miss the ensemble cast. It's a fantastic show. If you haven't watched Grace and Frankie, do yourself a favor.
Those 2 women, I'm sure, have more credits than those 2 dudes. Like Martin Sheen, whatever, but I'm pretty sure.
I think it'd be a close call. They have more star power than those 2 dudes, but I'll bet they've all been working similar lengths of time.
Okay, right.
I'm surprised we didn't get any Hanoi Jane comments. It runs over Jane.
Yeah, because they're so woke now.
Like they should have been over her like however many years ago.
Yeah.
Also, just rest in peace, old Quantum Leap dude, Dean Stockwell.
Old Quantum Leap dude.
He had a very prolific career. I was like, wow.
Did. He's probably
like
the Samuel L. Jackson of TV.
I thought he died years ago. And I was about to message you and be like, bitch, he's been dead. What are you doing? And it was somebody else.
No, baby. That's all good. So, Vera, I know that you had a go before. Are you ready? Can you ready for the re-up? Can you back it up, Vera? You ready?
Sure. Ready.
She's ready. She's getting steamy. She's bubbling away, ready for Vera's veg. Okay, lovely. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, vent.
Well, we were going to talk about it on the show, but we talked about other stuff, so we didn't bring it up. We all heard about poor Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, who told everybody he was vaccinated and pretended like he was vaccinated, and suddenly he's got COVID. He's like, oh, maybe I didn't get vaccinated. And everybody's like, what the fuck, dude? You just lied to everybody. You lied to all your fans. You lied to your team. You put your team in danger because you've been standing in a huddle 6 inches away from everybody's face, blowing orders at them, and
blowing each other.
Aaron Rodgers, the victim that he is on social media now. I've been attacked by the woke mob. They're after me. We're not after you because you're not woke. They're not after you because you got COVID. They're after you because you fucking lied. There are plenty of players in Major League Sports that are choosing not to get vaccinated. They are also paying the consequences. Kyrie Irving is a prolific NBA player who's sitting out and not getting paid. Well, he's not getting the vaccine. there's a player on the Buffalo Bills. I think his name is Cole Beasley. I could be wrong, but he's not getting paid either. But he's not taking the vaccine. No, you were a fucking wuss who decided to pretend you got it. And now that you've got COVID, you can't hide that you didn't get the vaccine, but it's everybody else's fault. You fucking snowflake. And what really pisses me off is that you're blaming the woke mob. So let's talk about the woke mob. Who's the woke mob? Is it picture number 1, Steve? Is this the woke mob? A Black Lives Matter march? Or is it picture number 2? Is this the woke mob? They'd be really pissed if they found out it was them. No. You know who the woke mob is? Picture number 3.
Oh, I've only got this. I've only got 2 pictures.
Anticipation.
The social media is what's making us crazy these days. There have been proven studies, peer-reviewed studies, real science, real math. I'm not going to make you guys listen to the math tonight. I know how that makes you crazy. That prove that the artificial intelligence of social media is specifically designed to recreate your feed into the news that you most want to hear. And it doesn't factor in truth. It just factors in preference. We, as a world, are more divided than ever. We have more depression. We have more suicide. As much as I love being on air with you people, as much as I love us all interacting with the page and connecting, we need to stop obsessing. It's creating addicts. It's creating addictive behavior. It's making us more angry, more depressed, less together. We need to consider, yes, I know, this is the problem, okay? I'm not saying get off. I'm not saying delete the platform. I'm saying think about it. If you're getting all your news from social media, you're not getting news. You're getting your opinion echoed back to you 1,000,000 times. You need to step away from social media and get your news from other sources. That's my bet.
Sorry, I had to. But I do agree, Vera. I do agree, Vera. I do very much agree. Look, we have to finish this week off with a I would prefer that you stay watching, by the way. With a What the Fuck Weekly. What the? And of course, this week we have a celebrity. A celebrity What the Fuck Weekly. Are you ready for it? Can we guess who it might be and what they have to say? Anyone?
No.
Oh, is it Demi Lovato's vibrator thing?
It's Demi Lovato. Here we go again. So, Demi Lovato has released their own sex toy named the Demi Wand. Surprise, surprise. Lovato says, I wanted to create my own sex toy to take the stigma away from pleasure and to take your sexual relationship to the next level. Lovato said that they had chosen to make it yellow because it's a gender-neutral color. I wanted something that everyone can use, whether they are female, assigned at birth, or now. Then said, you know I'm non-binary, and this is my wand. Get it.
Can it be translated into extra fucking terrestrial?
Can
you vibrate and speak to aliens?
She's the social media you should avoid.
I would think yes.
As I've said before, some celebrities should not be allowed to curate their own social media.
I wonder, does it have vibration?
If you are damaging your brand as significantly as Demi is, who is now a spokesperson for Gaia as well. So I don't know if you guys know what Gaia is.
Yeah.
It's like a online spirituality platform. But if you actually search a little bit further, it's been called the Netflix of spirituality. If you search further on Gaia, you find conspiracy theories like Big Pharma, chemtrails, aliens, forbidden science, and whatever the secret space program is.
This bitch needs to get off the fucking drugs.
Heidi, you
Seriously.
were prime Demi Lovato age group.
Yeah, but
Like
was
she's
I
the same age as you, isn't she?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. What do you think of what do you think of Demi?
I was never a fan even young, so I admire the talent, but she's 90 cents to the dollar. Like there's not a lot going on upstairs, so not a fan.
I think the smartest thing she ever did was punch that bitch on the bus, on the Jonas Brothers bus. That was some good times. I miss that, Demi. I don't miss this. I don't miss the singing to aliens, Demi.
I prefer Poot over Demi. I said
Nah, Poot Lovato. Don't. You can't bully her, even though that's what her fans do to everyone else in the world.
No.
That's okay. Our fans don't bully people, and we would like you to keep watching, despite Vera. Hey.
I want
So
you
make
to keep
sure-
watching too, but I don't want you to take us as a news source or anybody else on Facebook or Twitter. You're not doing your own research.
Speaking of social
we
media,
are not the fucking news.
please follow us. Please follow us on social media. You guys are ruining my spiel. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, iTunes, iTunes,
Did
iRadio, whatever the fuck it is
preschooler
now.
make that graphic? Holy shit. Pull it back up for a second. Look at that. You fucking YouTube boys. Look at the Twitter, the Instagram, Facebook. You can see white spots in all four corners.
This was actually
That's some ghetto fucking shit right there.
This is old, so it doesn't even have the TikTok on there. We do TikTok these days as well. TikTok.
Ghetto.
Great, thank you, Christopher. So
There's
we
going to be
will
another
see.
fight after the show in the war room, guys. You don't even know what goes
We'll
down.
see you next week. Thank you, everyone on the panel, for joining us today, and we will see you later. Bye. She's ready for the Debbie one, ladies and gentlemen.